Another day, another CGC unboxing. Stay tuned to see what came back this time. Welcome back, comic book fans. This is Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and today we've got a CGC unboxing of a signature series sign-in event from Alex Ross. These are some great books, but forgive me because this is not really an unboxing. The unboxing was several days ago, and unfortunately we had a mishap with the camera and we lost every bit of the footage. Every bit of the footage where I opened it up and you got my genuine reaction to these books got lost. I had nothing to give you. I had a little bit of the intro filmed, but it's kind of worthless without actually seeing the unboxing. You're going to end up seeing the books, but you're not going to get that reaction that I had when I initially opened these things up live. I was excited for most of it, and I had a couple of disappointments in here, and we'll just go through them. But this will give me an opportunity to show you the books. And actually, one of the things that I did on this was I got some duplicates, and the idea was I want to keep one for myself, and then I'm going to offer up one to the audience out there. If anybody wants some of these books, definitely reach out to me. You know, I talk about all the time, and I literally just said, you know. That is a deadly thing to say. When you're giving a speech and a talk, don't say you know. My wife, who is a communications major, would be all over me for that. So she would say, no, I don't know. So the answer is, you're right, I don't know. But regardless, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the books. I'm going to be able to give you some of the prices and some of the ranges on this. And I'll show you that I've got 3 of the books out of this that are going to be available. And I will talk about all of them as we get into it. But before we get started, definitely hit that like button, slap the subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you are alerted when one of my shows comes out every Monday and Friday at 10 a.m. Gives you that half-hour warning so you know the show's getting ready to come on. So I don't want you guys to miss out on any of this great content. But let's get to the unboxing. Well, is it really an unboxing? Alright guys, so like I said, this would have been an unboxing. You would have seen me hold up the box. You would have the knife. I've got the knife right here, and you would have seen me open up the box, but I already did that, and I was so excited as I went through most of these books. I've got one major disappointment in here, and I've got one slight disappointment, and we'll talk about those at the end. But at the beginning, I'm going to show you the initial 6 books. These are all going to be sets of 2. I got 3 different books here, and I got 2 each. And again, the idea was I'm going to do one for myself, and I'm going to do one for the audience out there. Anybody out there who's interested in one of these, just reach out to me. But let's just get started, and I'll show you. So first off, we're talking about Alex Ross here, and there's so many great things to get signed. What do you get signed? What do you want in your PC if you're getting something from this person? He's such a great artist, and he's done so many great things. What do you pick? I mean, right now, he probably got a lot of the heroes and the villains timeless series that he's been doing over the last couple of years. I know the villains issues have just come out. The heroes were from a couple years ago, I think, or at least a year ago. And I've got a bunch of those, and I thought about sending in one of those, but it wasn't cheap. None of these signings are cheap. So what do I get signed? And again, the idea was to get a couple of duplicates so I could hopefully sell one of these, especially if I can get a 9.8, sell some and help offset some of the cost from the whole signing. So what I did was I've got 3 different books here, and I got 2 each on each of these, and I'm just going to show you what I got. The 2 of them are, to me, are 2 of the best Alex Ross books that I can think of. There's others. You guys may have your opinion on what you think is a quintessential Alex Ross book, but for me, this is the first of what I think of when I think of Alex Ross, and it is Kingdom Come, part of that great miniseries from Mark Waid and Alex Ross. Alex Ross did the entire interior, the covers, everything, and Mark Waid, of course, wrote this. And it's been a very influential comic book. A lot of stuff came out of this. The Justice Society was affected by it. And just wonderful artwork. This came out in 1996. And So I'm thinking about this series, and to be honest with you, I probably would have liked to, if I was just doing it for myself, I probably would have gotten the second issue. I believe that's the one with Batman on the cover. But, or maybe the one at the very end where it's just Superman. But I was thinking in terms of Alex Ross and what's probably the most valuable. I did a little research on these too. What were the values on these I was finding? And number one is probably the most expensive of those issues. And I decided, okay, let's go with that. I was considering, as I said, the other issues, but I couldn't find those 9.8 candidates quite fast enough to get more than just this first issue in. And as I said, I've got two of these here. And let me show you the grade. I got 9/8. Got 9/8 on both of these. And that's just fantastic. There's two of them there, and as you can see, you've got the Alex Ross signature in gold right there. Let me see if I can go forward on that. You can see it a little bit better, but these are really good 9.8s. They're square bound, so that took a little bit of time to find a perfect candidate because you don't want any defects. It's very difficult to press square bound books. So I found good candidates for this, obviously, and I got two 9.8s. Let me give you a little bit of data on this. The last one sold on eBay, and that was a couple years ago, as a signed 9.8 by Alex Ross, and that went for $250 on eBay. But I will tell you that market has changed. I don't care what you think about the 2021 being the bubble where prices were skyrocketing and now prices are coming down. This is a book right now that if you wanted to go on eBay right now and wanted to buy it straight up, the cheapest I could find on a signed version of Kingdom Come #1 is $830. Unbelievable. I couldn't have imagined it would have been that much. In fact, when I looked it up, I thought that it was signed by both Alex Ross and Mark Waid. But it's not. It was just signed by Alex Ross. So I'm not going to put out a price that I would like for that. What I will do is I will accept offers. If anybody wants to email me at collectorauctions@yahoo.com or DM me on my Instagram account, either way, you can send in an offer and we can talk. But beautiful 9.8s on Kingdom Come. All right. The other, as I said, as I called it, the quintessential Alex Ross to me, the other series that he worked on that to me was just absolutely just stunning. In fact, I'm not sure if I liked it better or worse than Kingdom Come. I liked both of them equally for different reasons. And it was this right here. It is, well, this is the fourth issue in that miniseries. It is Marvel's, and this is issue number 4. And as you can see, I got a 9.8 on that. We have two of those guys. Two of those. One for you, one for me. And you can see it's signed up here right above the eye. And what you have here is, of course, Spider-Man close up, and you have the reflection of the Green Goblin and Gwen Stacy. One of my most cherished stories that when I started reading comics, my very first Spider-Man was issue 122, The Death of the Green Goblin. Gwen Stacy had just died. I had no idea for years what had exactly happened. But for me, the first issue with the Goblin dying, man, you couldn't have got anything better than that. And for them to touch on that story inside this comic was just fantastic. And for me, this is my favorite issue of that miniseries. And even though maybe issue 1 might be, because it's a #1 issue, might be more valuable signed, to me, this is the one that I wanted in my PC. So I went ahead and got 2 of those copies. You saw the other one there. And give me some data on this one as well. Last one on this sold again well over a year or so ago for $200 on eBay. But currently what I'm finding right now is I'm not finding anything on eBay with this. So I'm going to treat this a lot like that Kingdom Come #1, and I'm going to value this probably in that $700 range. I don't know if that's exactly right, but it's one of those things where, again, I will accept offers on this. Well, I'll entertain offers on this if you guys are interested in this right here. This is just absolutely stunning. This was very difficult because it has that acetate cover. And personally, I would have liked to have gotten it signed on the actual cover itself, not the acetate cover. I think that the pen, as you can see, I think the black Sharpie, I think would have done much better on the paper than the acetate, but it's still pretty good. Not quite as good as that Kingdom Come and that gold Sharpie. That was really sharp. This is really sharp. It's just, I think it could have been just a little bit better, but this is really good. 9.8 on this. This is, again, Marvel's number 4. All right, and then the last one I looked at, and I'm going, Alex Ross does have a lot of covers, and maybe I should have considered one of those timeless Marvel covers. I could have changed my thinking depending on the day of the week. But this is the cover that I kind of wanted my PC, and it's because of the character more than Alex Ross doing it. And Alex Ross did so many covers to this series that you could have picked just about anything. But I picked this. This is Justice Society of America number 9. And this came out in 2007. And if I remember right, yeah, it has this wonderful Dale Eaglesham artwork on the interior, and I'm a big fan of his artwork, especially on the the Villains United miniseries that he did. I think 2005, but he did the artwork on a lot of this Justice League, and I just absolutely adored that. But these covers by Alex Ross were stunning, and they were all in these. I think it actually carried over from the JSA comic book, where he was doing single characters on these black backgrounds. And I don't know how many, if he got to every character in the JSA or not, but this one of Power Girl was always Power Girl is very popular for a couple of reasons, and just stunning right here. And as you can see, I've got 2 of those. I got 9.8s, guys, on both of those. And we've got this very difficult black cover, again, that I had to pick out really good candidates. Now these they're not square bound or with an acetate cover. I was able to go in there and do a little bit of work on the spine just to make sure we didn't have any defects or anything. But this is a book, again, I haven't seen a sale on eBay since December of last year. Again, this is another $200 book more than 6 months ago. The other books were more than a couple years ago, in fact. And I can't find a current signed version of this on eBay at this moment. So this is interesting. What do I value this at? I don't know. I mean, I could easily do it at $200, but I don't think so. I think this is going to be closer to that $250 to $300 mark. If you guys are interested, again, just reach out to me. We'll see if we can make it work. But those were the 3 comics that I got signed. Got 9.8s on all of those. I couldn't have asked for anything better on these, especially the ones that I wanted to have to be able to resell. But I did do 2 more books, and these were both for the PC. Well, one's for the PC, and one of them's what I would have considered for the resale. But they didn't get the 9.8s. And I'll show you the first one. This is another part of that those Marvel's comics. This is actually number 0. And this is more of I don't want to say a sketchbook, but it really just focuses on the artwork that Alex Ross did. And there's a lot of illustrations on the inside. But I always love this cover of the Goblin and Spider-Man fighting. You see the Daily Bugle people right there. I always love this, and this one really surprised me. I mean, I want to say, when I was looking up 9.8s, and I don't have it written down in front of me, but if I recall, I was seeing that this one is actually more valuable than the other main issues, the 1 through 4 with the acetate covers. Now, this doesn't have an acetate cover, it's just a straight comic book paper, and I was a little shocked, and I went out and I actually had a couple of copies of this I bought, and I honestly, this ended up with a 9.6, and I don't know why. They don't give you notes on 9.6s, and a little disappointed. But I will tell you this, that I'm considering this one and the next one I'm going to show you. I'm actually considering taking that book and resubmitting it to CGC and letting them clean and press it and see if they can get out any kind of defects. There ended up being a couple of creases over here. They're non-color breaking. They were not there when I submitted this book. But with the non-color breaking, I may go ahead and submit this because right now, the only sale I saw of a 9.6 in this came back in 2018 for $148. I don't even know what to do with that. To me, that's over 5 years ago at this point, or it is 5 years ago. And we've seen the market go way up and we've seen it come way down. So I don't know what to do with that. I don't know if it's a 9.6 in this is that desirable. But I think this is a book right now, I think it would be a candidate to have it repressed. Now, I cannot break this open without losing that witness verification for the signature. I can't do it myself this time, so I'll have to rely on them to do it. And so I may consider that for this book right here, just because I think there's going to be enough value in it getting that 9.8. But let me show you the last book. The last book was the one that just blew me away for the condition. And it was the one that I thought I was going to have a little bit of difficulty with. And I remember filming this, and I said at the time, I said, this is the book that if I'm going to get a 9.6, this is the book, because I think it was going to take a little bit of a gift to get that 9.8, maybe. And it's still really good. But I didn't get a 9.6 either. 9.8, 9.6. And let me show you. This is Star Wars #1 from 2015. This is the Alex Ross variant to this, where he recreated the very first Marvel Star Wars comic cover, but in a more realistic illustration. And this is absolutely one of the most gorgeous Alex Ross illustrations I have ever seen. And just, it's stunning artwork. And when I saw this for the first time, when I was looking up some of the key Alex Ross books to consider, I'm going, I've got to find that. And I did find that, and I found it from a dealer that I find here in the local Baltimore area all the time. And I don't remember what I paid for this, but it wasn't exactly cheap either. And when I got it, I felt like it needed some definite spine work over here. I don't see color breaking spine ticks, but there are definitely some creases over here. And I thought I got them out well enough to at least get that 9.6. And I considered that if I got a 9.6, I'd keep it in the PC. If I got a 9.8, I'd actually consider selling it. But a 9.0 is worthless. The last one sold just last year for $40 on eBay. And when I took a closer look at this the other night, I mean, there are a handful of very small little creases up and down the spine. And I don't see any color breaks still. And the back looks super good. The corners look really good. I don't see any stress around the staples. So this right here is 100% going to go back into CGC along with that Marvel Zero. And I'm going to have both of these cleaned and pressed by CGC. And I'm going to see if I can do any better. Because honestly, I have nothing to lose on getting this one clean and pressed again. I mean, a little bit more money I'm going to put into it. But the upside on this is somebody may pay $40 for that. I mean, you know, it cost me more than that just to get it signed. It's kind of ridiculous. 9.8's win on this right now. The fair market value on a signed version of this is $170. To be honest, I don't think that's necessarily true either. I think that's an old price. I don't have the date in front of me, but I think this, if you could get a 9.8 on this signed by Alex Ross, I think that's a very desirable thing to have. And, well, we'll just see what we can do. We'll send this back in with CGC, and we'll send this back in, and we'll see if we can do any better. Maybe, of course, I'll do a video on that, and we'll do a show on that. But those are the books I got from CGC. Definitely reach out to me if you're interested in anything you see here today. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and definitely let me know what you think about these books by leaving me a comment in the comment section below. And if you're interested in any of the books today, again, just reach out to me on collectorauctions@yahoo.com or DM me on my Instagram account. But you can also check out everything I've got for sale right now by checking out my eBay store or on my Shortbox page. I've got those links in the description below as well. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry that it wasn't a true unboxing and a true reveal, but we do what we can around here. So it gave me a chance to at least give you some values on these books. But that's it. I'm out of here, guys. I will see you for the next show. Join me then, and remember, every comic has a story.